What's up, horror fam? Steven aka Bojangles here. And come closer, my friends, I have something scary to show you. Michael Myers has been resurrected in, well, Halloween Resurrection, aka that one Halloween movie with Busta Rhymes in it.
Oh, Freddy boy. Damn, you good.
This time around, Myers has killed off his sister within the first 10 minutes or so of the movie.
I'll see you in hell.
And with nothing else on his agenda, he's suddenly decided that he's territorial about his house.
He came home.
The only problem is that some pesky kids are wanting to film some sort of internet reality show from Home Sweet Home, and Michael Myers is going to be forced to, well, Michael Myers these mofos. And who can blame him? I mean, did these sons of bitches even wipe their feet before coming into his home? With all of that being said, let's go back and... Hey, wait a minute, before we get started, do you want to be a part of the horror fam? If so, you should subscribe to the channel and follow the big TH on social media. Now, with all of that being said, let's get started on 10 things you didn't know about Halloween Resurrection.
Let the dangertainment begin out.
Number 1. Alternate endings. Director Rick Rosenthal thought it would be cool if multiple endings were filmed, and different theaters showed different endings. In total, 4 endings were shot. You get the one that's already in the movie, an alternate ending where Michael gets the old axe,
God, motherfucker.
another ending known as the CSI ending,
Thanks.
Heck of a night, huh?
and finally an ending where Deckard himself shows up and rescues Sarah from the burning garage.
You okay?
I don't know. Who the hell are you?
I'm Deckard.
Do you think the multiple endings idea could have been cool? Should they have done it? Let us know by leaving a comment below.
And what I wanted to do is I wanted them to release the movie with 4 different endings and not tell the public which ending would be in what theaters, and so which I think would have been a really cool idea.
Number 2. Laurie Strode commits suicide. Originally, the studio suggested that Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Laurie Strode, should commit suicide in Halloween Resurrection. But Curtis wasn't comfortable with suicide, nor was the writer. So, they came up with a send-off everyone could agree on.
Originally, they'd wanted her to commit suicide. Jamie Lee didn't feel comfortable with suicide. Frankly, I didn't either. And so it's a much more dramatic kind of invention that we came up with.
Number 3. The farting Michael Myers. Brad Laurie, the actor who portrayed Michael Myers, was a stuntman. But there's one problem. Every time he'd get nervous before performing a stunt, he'd fart.
So you'd have this very serious stunt where he has to like fly backwards out a window and like smash, and like you literally would hear him right before he started the stunt just going.
What the hell is that?
My ass.
Number 4. Jamie Lee Curtis was forced to return. If you asked Jamie Lee Curtis at the time, she would have at least pretended to be somewhat interested in the film.
It was a very modern, very, I think, good installment of the Halloween series.
The truth is, she was contractually obligated to return for Halloween Resurrection.
Well, Halloween Resurrection was a joke. Halloween Resurrection I had to be in because the only way that I could have done Halloween H2O was to agree to come back in a next movie.
Okay, so it's clear she wasn't a fan of the movie, but she did make it a point to say something meaningful to Myers before her demise.
And so what I asked them to do was make sure that what she said was, I am not afraid of you. So you have failed. So ultimately your boogeyman thing has failed.
Number 5, a Myers-less sequel. So, do you remember Halloween 3, Season of the Witch? That's when they were trying to make an anthology series, with each Halloween film focusing on a different tale of terror set around the Halloween holiday. You can learn more about this in my 10 Things You Didn't Know About Halloween 3, Season of the Witch video, which, for your convenience, I will link to in the description below. Miramax wanted to try this route with the franchise again, and make Halloween 8 something without Michael Myers.
Miramax had wanted to take Michael Myers out of it, and Mustafa insisted that it be another Michael Myers piece.
Fans were polled to see if this would be an idea worth pursuing, and they were like,
No.
Fans wanted Myers back, and well, they got him.
Hey, Mikey! Happy fucking Halloween!
Number 6, alternate opening. There's a work print version of Halloween Resurrection floating around when the film was still going by the title of Halloween Homecoming. In this early version of the film, rather than opening in an asylum, it opened with some Myers family footage, giving us a look at young Michael Myers before he went on to kill his sister. The CSI ending, which I mentioned earlier, was the ending that was attached to this cut of the film. So, why was all of this cut? Well, the title was changed because producers wanted everyone to know, very specifically, that despite Myers being killed in H2O, he would be returning for the sequel.
Hello, Michael.
So why was the family footage cut? Well, they believed it would humanize Myers too much.
Me?
Number 7. The duplicate poster. So, when you look at the Halloween Resurrection poster, you'll undoubtedly notice that it looks much like the poster for Halloween H2O. But if you look a little closer,
Look closer, Detective Matthews.
you'll notice they even reused the same picture of Jamie Lee Curtis from the H2O poster. She even has short hair in the Resurrection poster, despite having long hair in the movie.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that? What is that, Private Pile?
Number 8. Bianca Kylik can't scream. While Busta Rhymes is shooting some footage for his show, he gets pumped up when Sarah lets out a glass-shattering scream.
Damn, that girl can sing.
The irony here is that it's not Kylik you hear screaming in this scene, nor any other scene throughout the movie, as her screams were dubbed in post-production. Number 9. The fake Myers house. Remember the original Halloween when the Myers house was an actual physical location? Ah, the good old days.
You're not supposed to go up there.
Well, those days are gone, bitches. The house in Resurrection that Myers is so territorial over isn't a real house. Instead, the set was built on a soundstage.
Where we've built Mike Myers' house. It's based on the original house in Halloween 8, but we've extrapolated from 1978.
All that stuff you see going on in the background is CGI.
Probably the biggest challenge in recreating the house is that doing it in an entirely artificial environment. That we have blue screens here because we're CGIing in a background.
Number 10. Actors helped film it. The cameras mounted on the heads of the actors and actresses were not fake.
The really cool part about this film is we have the cameras on our head are working cameras.
So, believe it or not, Halloween Resurrection was ahead of its time.
What's really cool about Halloween 8 to me is that it is current. It's what's on the pulse of the world right now, the internet.
Some of the footage that these cameras picked up was actually seen in the movie.
By putting the cameras on the actors' heads, we get a magical footage that you couldn't possibly have planned. The way they look at each other, the things that they do, when they lift their hands up and it goes in front of the camera. Great moments that we couldn't have ever gotten any other way, and you really get into the actor's point of view.
Video unit director Jessica Landau went on to say something very interesting about this aspect of the film.
I don't think anything like this has ever been done before, as far as I can tell. I think audiences have seen video footage on film. They've seen the Blair Witch Project. They've seen reality television, where they're used to cameras being shaky and people talking candidly, but I don't think that anyone has ever put cameras on an actor's head and sent them inside.
As far as I can tell, she's correct. There's a ton of found footage movies out there, but they're still being filmed by a cameraman. It looks like Resurrection was the first film to allow actors to film portions of the movie on their own.
Is that good or bad?
Depends who's watching.
And that's it for this Halloween. Busta Rhymes done kung fu'd this storyline into oblivion. Because next time, Michael Myers gets a redo. So make sure you stay tuned for when I go over 10 things you didn't know about Rob Zombie's Halloween remake. Until next time, my friends, look horror, listen horror, talk horror.
You don't have to go far to find Michael Myers. He's the great white shark of our unconscious.
Michael Myers is a killer shark. Baggy ass overalls.
Never underestimate the effect of a poor diet. Too much protein, not enough zinc. Next thing you know, you're cutting up bodies in your bathtub.
The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
You know the thing about a shark, he's got lifeless eyes. Black eyes, like a doll's eye.
The sand tiger shark pups compete with their siblings. In fact, the strongest pup in each of the two wombs devours its weaker brothers and sisters.